Now, what do we think that she has going on back here? Assuming we can just walk back there. Closed curtains. You see a set of tattered curtains blocking the way to another room. A strange cage-like trinket dangles from the curtains.
Excuse me, officer. The back room is strictly for employees only.
Oh, is that right? Is that right? What's behind these curtains, shopkeeper? I'm an officer of the law. Nothing. Now please go back to browsing books, she fiddles with her pendant. Don't you feel compelled to look at the books? The books are all you care about. She speaks almost as if she's trying to put a spell on you, urging you to buy more books. Maybe that's her deal. Oddly enough, the more she tries to draw you away from the curtains, the more alluring they become. Let's look at this little trinket. You can see some kind of charm in a regular polyhedron assembled from bones, sticks, and straw. Inside, a disturbing fish head with empty eye sockets stares at you. From the looks of it, this is a traditional Seminoles ward meant to provide protection against ill luck, bad dreams, curses, and other supernatural scourges. And who are the Seminoles again? Inhabitants of Ile de Fantôme, the Seminoan Islands down south. Right. Aside from poking at it suspiciously, there's nothing else to do with the fish head charm at this time. The curtains remain shut before you. I'm going in. Just as you're about to pull apart the curtains, the petrified voice of the shop owner cries out once more. Sir, don't touch that. I told you it's off limits for the customers. Her hand has closed around her pendant, her fingers nervously playing with the talisman. I guess it's this big brooch-looking thing. Parapsychologically speaking, we're done. If you decide to open them, I won't be held responsible for the consequences. It's too dangerous. She looks away, mumbling. Why is everyone always messing with the curtains? Why can't they just buy books like normal people? I get that. Listen, I just have a sense that this place is calling for me. I must investigate beyond this threshold. You do? She grabs the pendant again, visibly shaken. My God, even more reasons not to mess with the curtains. Just step away, dear sir. Man, this is about that curse. Why are you afraid? No, it's just a storeroom for the employees. I told you. Now, please, step away from the curtains. She's almost begging you. Ma'am, this is different. I'm a police officer and I need to get in there. Why? It's not like anyone was killed in there. She stops abruptly as her hand flies over her mouth, baffled by her own bluntness. I'm sorry, I don't mean to be impolite, but please don't go in there. I can't allow that. You'll only make things worse and unleash the powers. Well, I'm going in now, that's for damn sure. You can't stop me. No, she raises her hand to try and stop you. Please just talk to me, officer. Come here and let's talk this through before you decide to do anything extreme. Talking is always good. Go see what she has to say. There is something mysterious about the curtains. Be careful. The curtains, tattered with age and covered in dust, hang before you as if taunting you. Okay, let's go talk to her. Let's go talk to her. See what's up. Something's clearly bonkers back here.
Hello again, esteemed officer. And welcome to Crime, Romance, and Biographies of Famous People.
Why are you so uptight about those curtains? I just want to know what's on the other side. I already told you, it's just a storage room for employees. I don't understand why it's so important for you to... Just let it go, officer. Go buy some goddamn books. You're supposed to be drawn to the books. She recites it like a poem or like she's playing a role she's grown tired of. Well, let me ask you this. If that's just a storage room, then why does it have a Seminoles ward protecting it? That's right, I know what that is. It's just for decoration. She wavers under your gaze, mouth pressed into a tight-lipped smile, then something breaks. Okay, fine. It's because this place is cursed. Just like Annette said. They don't call it the doomed commercial area for nothing. Are you happy now, officer? Happy that you've ruined everything? She closes her eyes and starts mumbling something to her pendant. Take it easy. You've broken her resistance. Pushing her further will gain nothing. Oh, okay. Well, how does this curse manifest itself? A shiver runs through the woman as though she looks around the dimly lit store. The curse is so much worse than you would ever imagine. It's a disease, eating at the very foundation. Her voice drops to a whisper. It's the curse of the financial distress, of ruin and bankruptcy. She peers at the curtains again. Didn't that curtain just move? Okay, listen. Annette mentioned that the previous tenants have experienced some financial troubles as well. It's not just that, officer. We're dealing with something supernatural here. It's the Kako demons feeding off bad business practices and disappointing income statements. There's something wrong with this building. I can tell you, ever since I arrived, I sense an eerie, lingering presence, as if I was unwanted here. Have you sought help from anyone? Oh, yes, I've contacted numerous parapsychologists and even a pair of Semines mediators. They provided me with the wards. She nods at the strange cage-like trinket on the curtains. The wards help to keep the doom at bay and protect us against the darkness that lies further in the building, even though now I fear it's not enough. Huh. Is your pendant part of the wards as well? Oh, this? She holds the pendant in her palm. Its ochre heart glistens under the lights. No, it's a special Himian amulet, blessed by desert pygmy shamans with a spell of compulsion. It's to compel people to buy books. There are numerous spells cast throughout the store. I had the books anointed with different inducement spell, for example. She nods. It's guaranteed to boost sales 15%. Yeah, snake oil. Desert pygmy shamans. That sounds like a rather questionable way to describe a group of people. I'd be happy to investigate this curse, see if it's real. Oh, most certainly not. I don't want anyone who's not familiar with the psychic arts to get involved in this mess. Stay away. Leave the spirits be so they can return to their slumber. My liege, you know what this calls for? A paradetective. Exactly. Yes! Convince her to let you investigate the Doom commercial area. Yes. Well, pretty bad roll, actually. Slither up to her, you silver-tongued fiend. Show her what the world-class perfidy looks like. Ma'am, I did come here to help. I've handled paranatural situations before. Are you sure? She looks skeptical. Don't think I haven't seen charlatans before. Yeah, speaking of snake oil, laying on a bit ourselves. I sense the psychic emanations from afar. The sleeper beyond calls out. She shudders. I'm not sure I trust your claims, honestly. You look like a bit of a drinker. I'm sorry for being so blunt, but... The lieutenant keeps his usual stony calm. He silently picks out his notebook. Go ahead then, rocker world, he thinks. I'll compose some notes. You see, it's necessary to drink the spirits in order to contact the void. How do you know all this? Here we go. I am the Void Revenant. I'm going to lay it on thick. I have the powers to debat all the bad energies. I should have realized a pattern lies within the fabric. The hand of fate guides us. Our meeting couldn't have been by mere chance. She's a wacko. Perhaps you truly are the one to deliver this woman from doom. But I am not the only one at risk. I have to think of my daughter. You are certain you can help keep us safe? I can't allow any collateral damage to hit us. Just ask my partner Kim. He's going to vouch for me, no problem. The lieutenant has not been listening closely enough. He mumbles in minor confusion. You put him on the spot. Certainly so, ma'am. I can assure you my partner is eminent in this particular field. She shuffles nervously. If you promise, good officer, then... She pauses. You might be our last hope. Do you swear it? On my honor. Investigate Doom commercial area. Cool. Oh, thank you, sir. A timid sigh of relief followed by a cautious smile. There's one more thing I haven't told you about yet. It's the entity. Do not act surprised. You know of these things. Oh, yeah, of course, the entity. For I have sensed its presence. You have? She gasped. The entity takes the form of a woman, a witch probably. I suspected that she must be connected to the curse ever since I first saw her. Did you know that she lives inside the chimney? Oh, yeah. The chimney, the passage between heaven and hell, of course. Yes, that chimney is part of the building's central furnace, and it's enormous. She has barricaded herself behind some metal security curtains. God knows what she's doing there. Key to the bookstore back door. Some unnatural magic, I assume. She shivers. You should go find the entity and ask what happened to all the companies of the building. What is the source of this curse? Here's the key to the warded door behind the curtains. Take it. Oh, and please do return to me after you've looked around. I'm quite anxious to know what she has to say about the curse. What you discover in there. Unbelievable darkness and ruin. What you discover? Probably just some office space. Don't be scared. All right. I'm off now. Okay, I did not expect that we'd be into supernatural. That's sick. People say the commercial building on the plaza is cursed. No business will ever thrive there without going bankrupt. You promised Plaisance you'd look into it. Enter the sealed door behind the bookstore and find out what happened to the companies there. Search for the malignant entity. Plaisance says she lives inside a chimney. Find a way in. On it. And we're in. You see a dimly lit room full of dusty furniture and trash. A doorway stands in the back, covered in dozens of scary little Seminese wards, your shadow looming over it like an omen. A small, terrified, "Oh!" escapes from Plaisance as she tries her best to look away, her round face buried in her hands. So I'm guessing this is an opportunity for us to flashlight some stuff. Oh, cool. Oh yeah, yeah. We're dark. Ghostly silhouettes of hair dryers, like an old salon. A vaguely androgynous picture of a man. Merely looking at that unmanly haircut threatens your masculinity. Okay. The warded door. A heavy door with a missing handle stands before you, covered in dozens, if not hundreds, of Seminese trinkets and charms. It appears to be locked. Try to break it down. We have the key. After exerting some force, you manage to turn the key. It's eerily silent. The door slides slightly open, letting a draft of cold air into the room. We'll take the lead. Okay. It's an old gym. Sand is dripping from the punch bag. Oh, he wants to talk? I don't know if I've ever seen that before.
What is this place?
Lieutenant stares at the dusty training equipment. Well, it was clearly the netherworld, Kim. It's beyond the veil. No, it's a gym, he disagrees. Though it looks like no one's been here in ages. I doubt the electricity still works. Good thing we have a flashlight. Way ahead of you, buddy. Eerie feeling rises in your chest. What if there's a reason why no one's been here for ages? Yes, because it's closed. No need to look for supernatural explanations where a banal one will do. Now, let's move on, shall we? You scared, Kim? You scared? Little Kimmy Kim? Poster says Citius Fortis. The rest is worn off. Worn out wall bars looking unsafe. We're gonna try and lift this bad boy. Barbell lies on the floor. The color has worn off its weight plates. It's 60 kilograms. Your triceps helmet. The sight of those weights show the world what kind of beast it's dealing with. Lift them. Oh god. There are no collars on the barbell. This is a safety hazard. Why does it feel so familiar? That's gonna be pretty tough. Look, Kim, I think this might be a trap. There's no collars on the barbell. You're right. The weights may fall off. I better not touch it then. What kind of bastard would just remove the collars? This should be a felony. It would be a violation of EPIS safety regulations if the gym was still operating, but it isn't. No one's supposed to come here anymore. Is this familiar because I was a weightlifter? No, it's not that. It's the stale smell of rubber, the squeaky sound of sneakers, your bruised knee against the mat, and a whistle. Then the feeling is gone. It's just a memory. A memory from another life when you were young and fit. This is gonna kill us, isn't it? 17%. Oh boy. Come on. Whoa. That's not so bad. Good. Could be worse. Let's heal up. You managed to hoist it off the ground, but the barbell feels wobbly and dangerous. Your hands slick with sweat. Turns out you're no beast, just an old man with bad form. See, the place is cursed. Ah, fuck you, you stupid barbell. Weightlifting was never my favorite either. The lieutenant is obviously handling you. At the station gym, I prefer running. Clears your head. The lieutenant steps away from the barbell, letting you recover in peace. All right, let's charge that back up too. I'm not gonna mess with the barbell. What's he blocking here? Like a medicine ball? Oh, shot put ball. Boule ball? Is that the same thing? We did shot put that thing. But it was called specifically like a boule ball, right? Replace lost boule. Or maybe that's just ball. You hold him a ball or similar looking metal sphere. Got it. Okay. Hallways blocked by old window panes and debris. This is cool. Whoa. Wild animals stare at you in the dark, stuffed and mounted. A large demijohn full of strange liquid. Airship rotors covered in spider webs. They remind you of blades. What are these weird mannequins? What the frick? Naked mannequin torso, strange yellow color. Whoa. Hear the noises? Money! Oh, we feel like doubled our net worth. Blue velvet, soft to the touch, moth bitten. More money. This place is a jackpot. Skis with slipstream printed on the laminated layer. Steel rotor blades bearing a slipstream logo. Looks like someone tried to reconceptualize their business here. I don't get it. Look, the skis and rotor blades both bear the same slipstream logo. Seems likely that they started out making one, failed to turn a profit, then pivoted to producing the other. Right. But what a strange leap of imagination, and yet they still failed. How sad. Reality is ruthless. Hello. Production schedule. Filament memory? What? Feel you should hold on to this, make good use of it. To sell such beautiful old school sports equipment would be a sin. We have a plan for that. This cube-like crisscross of filaments feels oddly fragile in your hand. Its intricate structure covered in dust. Silver tape on the side reads, production schedule, note. This filament contains information that can be read using a radio computer. Okay. Is that something that we have access to in the Kupri Kanima? We're going to investigate this board for sure. Mainframe. Oh, we probably investigate here. This appears to be some kind of machine with a cube-shaped heart and a wired framework. Yeah, keyboard has a rectangular on-off button. A piece of paper still hangs from the printer. Radio computer, says the lieutenant, watching your circle around the machine. Just sitting here without anyone in sight. He sounds surprised and a bit cautious. I think we should, turn this on, Kim, or... Oh, we have one of those down at the station, but I never really learned how to use it. Okay, let's hold off on that for a second. Let's check out the rest of this room. Scribbled across a notebook, developers of the most advanced RPG in the universe. Okay, what are these things? Frequency fireplace. This old fireplace is covered in lines drawn blue and red marker, the mesh spreading over the stone like blood vessels on alabaster skin. It looks ghostly and strangely ancient. The whole thing resembles Kedron mosaic tiles. Very pedantic. Hold on. How do I know what Kedron mosaic tiles are supposed to look like? History class. Students with their textbooks open, studying the roots of our civilization. Those archaeal blue tiles looked beautiful in the sun. What am I looking at? Frequency fireplace. Radio frequencies, it seems. UKV 123.6, 123.7, and 123.9. Some written notes too, sparse and cryptic. Radio frequencies for what? Unclear. Looks like a cardiovascular system, split into veins and capillaries. Very advanced. So, are we dealing with something medical here? You think so? The web is comprised of radio stations, all lead back to one red heart titled the Game Master frequency. A note says, this one can listen in on any station it wants. Whoa. Wait. Who's the Game Master? Someone very important. The leader of a massive on-air game built by these people. This is some type of weird game that they've constructed? A conductor for the hundreds of story threads that pass through the Game Master's frequency. Well, okay, if it's a game, then who's playing? Whoever decides to call into a call-in station, it looks like. There's no way a little basement studio working here could pull anything like this off. My God. Lieutenant leans closer, his finger tracking the maddening rhizome. It's as if the less money they had, the more ambitious their project became. Why do you say that, Kim? The schedule. He nods at the calendar on the chalkboard, wiping his marker-stained fingers clean. I know doom when I see it. The company was running out of funding. What else? Nothing. It's just lines on the marble, an echo from times long gone. No one has used the fireplace in ages. Weird. Project Dredd board. Your flashlight slides over an old green chalkboard covered in scribbles, sketches and schemes like some ancient cave mural. So is this like some advanced like D&D type thing? Some of the writing has faded with age. You can still make out sections here and there. Photos and drawings have been pinned to the board. These live, pointy-eared creatures appear to be different types of welkins. You make out autumnal candle welkins casting wax-based magic, translucent welkins with organs shining under their skin, and even aether welkins hailing from the vast emptiness of sidereal space. Who are all these creatures? Fantasies of a tortured, feverish mind. You should adopt one of those welkins as your persona. No longer a mere man, but a welkin. I like it. One of the welkins, towering among the rest, appears to be different, however. So this big dude, I guess? These are the little ones we're referring to. Let's examine the welkin. It's Vara Hamira, a high welkin. His face white and scarred like cracked marble. This is clearly a welkin supremacist, the note says. All non-welkin races will be purged. The Haldur, the Dwarg, the humans, and even the headless men, all of them. The headless men. Is that kind of like that thing that we have? Imagine a world filled only with welkin, green welkin, dread welkin, and the high welkin to rule them all. Lieutenant can't help but comment, an inordinate amount of time has gone into drawing these little welkin creatures. Yeah, well, one of them, I'll have you know, Kim, was a welkin supremacist. Political commentary. That one has a great beard, too. Lieutenant nods at the welkin's facial hair. Why would anyone spend so much time on this? Some people really like building a world, I think. Even if it's just for a game. Developers are having fun here. Who are these creatures? Who drew them? Are they real? I have so many questions. This looks like a concept art for a project. It's not really real. Well, this has been educational. Let's move on from the welkins. Let's look at the photos. The photo collage depicts barren, icy landscapes wrapped in perpetual light. You see permafrost and glacial landforms, dead trees groaning under the snow. Entire oceans have been frozen from shore to shore. There are pictures of settlements on dried up riverbeds, abandoned in a storm, animal corpses in the dark, carcasses and bones. You see primitive oil rigs built into glaciers by boreal dwarg. Yurts under the snow, great mammoth-like beasts of burden. Albeit dark and cold, this vision also feels cozy in its own way, like eggnog or morphine, a much-needed respite from our own world. The pin postcard reads, the heat death scenario, a desperate fight for geothermal energy engulfs the world as a whirl becomes untethered from its sun, drifting through the universe. So this is basically depicting the setting. What about the schedule? This is a monthly calendar from year 50. Cryptic words like sprint, daily, minime, and GPI span the marker-drawn grid, the grand scheme of production and money. Oh, minime stands for mini-meeting. It's part of a bigger framework for managing work called RUN, Station 41. Tried to implement a few years ago, but failed. Huh. Okay. What would happen? As time goes on, the numbers in the boxes grow rarer and rarer. The board becomes an empty snowfield in the final days. Only failure and regret dwell in this region. The lieutenant looks at the frigid ice field of nothingness and concludes, looks like they didn't make it. A note in the bottom left of the chalkboard says, see the prod schedule filament for details. Is that the thing we picked up? Must be. Oops. Yeah, production schedule, filament memory. Okay, so we're gonna dive into that, but what's with the notes? The handwriting is only partially legible, but you can still make out 3 slogans: call in, tune out, whirl untethered, and heat death of the universe. All right then. This goes up yet even further. Let's check this back door before we power up this computer. Map tab in your journal lists all the white checks you can reattempt. Yes. Whoa. We're outside. Hello. What is this? Ice bear fridge. You see a terrifying ice bear with a strange compartment in its belly. The door is covered in frost and the bear's eyes are glowing red. Oh, this looks oddly realistic. Is it taxidermy? What is this thing? It looks like a giant ice bear. Lieutenant doesn't answer. His eyes are glued to the animal. A sharp slice of light shines out from its mysterious belly door. It's just like a, I don't know, like novelty fridge. Let's open it. A gust of freezing cold air rushes to you. You hear a low grumble as the bear regulates itself. This is the inside of a refrigerator. The lieutenant takes a peek inside. His hand has found the holster of his gun. Kim, relax. It's just a fridge. Of course, just a giant ice bear-shaped fridge. He relaxes his hand, his face bathed in the harsh light of the open fridge door. Let's take a look inside. The shelves are empty. All you see are crumpled ice cream wrappers and the brand name Revachol Ice City. A handwritten note has been attached to the door. The fridge is huge. What's the note say? You pocket the note, and the little fridge magnet's keeping it on the door. What about the wrappers of ice cream? A friendly cartoon bear smiles back at you from a glossy cellophane wrapper. It looks nothing like the fridge. Oh, so this is probably like a, this was probably like a store thing that was used to sell these ice cream sandwiches, I'm guessing. And what's a giant bear-shaped fridge doing in an abandoned cellar in the first place? Good question. Looks like an ice cream fridge. Lieutenant reaches for one of the wrappers. He studies it in his light. So wait, they tried to sell ice cream from this hyper carnivore? Why no, says the lieutenant. What an unfortunate marketing choice. What is even worse, the bear is still costing them money to this day. Lieutenant points at the red snaky cable running from the fridge. Yeah, it's still running. The fridge buzzes with energy. The electricity bill on this thing must be catastrophic. What the hell? This is so cool. We find all this bizarre stuff like non-stop. Handwritten note from the fridge. A handwritten note you found from the giant ice bear fridge still bears some marks from the fruit-shaped kitchen magnets that were used to secure it to the refrigerator door. The note is written on a blue pencil and a piece of lined office paper. The kitchen magnets have left spots on the surface. Does it say anything interesting? The lieutenant leans closer to read the crumpled note over your shoulder. This is tangential at best, but the lieutenant's detective instinct is still active. Let's read it. Someone has scribbled S. I can't believe the off-site copy is still here. The illiterate ginger kid keeps stealing stuff. That's got to be a reference to Kuno. From the studio. So I had to hide it somewhere safe. You'll find the filament memory with the off-site copy in the frozen ice cream maker. Please take it home ASAP. It's important. I do it myself if I lived in a civilized place with a freezer. Take care, Sulislaw. So it's from somebody named Sulislaw to somebody named S. Something about this off-site copy. And there's a filament memory in the frozen ice cream maker, which we'll have to find as well. So who's the illegitimate ginger kid? That's Kuno, right? Really? The lieutenant looks to you, the corner of his mouth curved into a smug grin. You don't have a single guess? You must mean Kuno. Oh, I'm sure that child would love to get his hands on a filament memory, even if he doesn't know what to do with it. He'd probably try to pawn it for speed based on our encounter. Right, well, who do you think wrote that note then? Someone who owns a radio computer? My guess is as good as yours, officer. Which is to say, not very good. We know what the filament memories are. Any idea where the frozen ice cream maker would be? I don't know. I assume it's somewhere close to the ice bear fridge. All right. It's got to be somewhere up here then. Cool. Let's find it. If this will all turn out to be just like nothing, super normal stuff.
Only warm primordial blackness. Your conscious ferments in it. No larger than a single grain of malt. You don't have to do anything anymore. Ever. Never, ever.